Alright guys, it is build time with the CEN. The first thing I'm going to be working on is the links. So we've got the CKQ0309 4-link set for this guy, 275 millimeter wheelbase, and then I've got these pivot balls, and we're going to be putting these into the link set. So we're going to go ahead and just start into it, see what the cat's going to do. He's coming up because there's lots of little bags and parts. Wants to get involved. This should be pretty easy. We're probably not going to leave the camera on for the whole thing. We'll show you one of them, and then we'll do the install, because it's just going to be repeating the steps over and over and over, and that's no fun to watch. Just got to dump all these pieces out, and I'm using my CCxRC mat here. Try not to cut with my knife through the bags, both sides, so I don't cut it all up. Alright guys, so I've finished up most of the links. I just want to show you something really quick, and that is that they are two different lengths. So the shorter one over here is going to be your uppers. You can see the length difference now. But this one is your uppers and this is your lower. And the difference is that the uppers have both straight ends on them, like so. And the lowers are going to be curved like this at the rod end side. So that's just something to be aware of. And now what I do with these is I just simply do it by hand. Just put the long grub screw on there, thread it in by hand. Again, I don't think these are going to pull out. There's no room for them to twist and turn once they're locked in place. So I just get them on. As I tighten down these plastic ends, it's going to also cinch it in tighter. Some people do thread lock. I don't worry about it. So you can either do it by hand, just quickly kind of twisting like this. What I typically do is I take wrenches and just kind of push them through like this, and then I just move the one side and just kind of work it around like this, and that'll tighten down both sides. So it starts by doing both pretty equally, and then it starts to favor the side you're spinning, and then there's just the littlest bit that it'll thread on. Once this one's tight, it'll work the other side. And so these go opposite, like so. One points up, one points down. Down, up, and that's done. I actually took these back apart to show you the difference in the length. Once I realized that I hadn't shown that to you, I pulled one of these back off because I'd done all the top ones first. There we go. So I'm just going to tighten these down by hand and around. Okay, so now I got to remove the tires and get in here and start removing the links. I'm probably going to do it one at a time. When I'm in the rear here, I'm going to go ahead and install these aluminum straight axle adapters as well. So let's start with that. Now these are aluminum into aluminum, so I am going to thread lock these in, these screws that hold it in place. So I use this trusty little 7mm wrench, box wrench. Fits right inside the tire. Makes this a real easy job. And we're just going to replace these. You can see I have hex extensions on mine as well. So I don't want to lose any of these pieces. Then it's going to be a 2mm. Most standard screw sizes are going to be the 2mm is what I find. So I've gone and marked mine with orange on the end so I can quickly identify the 2.0 in that bag. But I'm pretty sure that's what I'll be using here. Ah, cool, it's on the back side. Makes it easier to get at. Now while I'm also in here, we're going to look at the diff and see if I want to do that replacement, if it's better to do it now or when is the best time to do that. There it goes. Got the diff out. we could get in here. I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. I think what I'm going to do in the rear here is I'm actually going to go with the locker. We're going to give that a go. Lock up the rear end. We'll go from there. There we go, guys. You're just going to put the locker on here on the rear. Give that a go. I'm going to save this differential right here and maybe put it into something else or use it as needed. Gonna swap out the bearings as well while we're in here with the nicer set. Got a little udder butter we'll put on here as well. There we go, upgraded bearings on there as well. Just slide it back in. Gonna have a locked rear diff. But I'm going to do one more side here. Hopefully I can get it on video for you guys a little bit easier and better to see what's going on. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and rip everything out. And so we'll pull out all 4 screws like this. And then I'll take out the top ones. So I gotta pull this out to get to the other. Like this. There it goes. It's the bottom one. There we go. So these are out. So I need an upper and a lower, and I'll use the 4 that I have left, and I'll see if I have any other ends that'll fit in here. Alright, get these in, one end. Kitty's being playful. There we go, now we're all ready. So we're going to try and get this installed a little bit quicker this time. So, I'm going to have it coming outward here. You get lined up. Get this wedged in here. It's definitely a tighter fit with these. And then we're going to jam it in here. But first I'm going to put this screw in and hold it in place because it was tough enough to get in. I don't want to have to do it again. I have to remember to put the drive shaft back in before we go too far. There it is. So I think before I even put this one in, I'm going to want to get that drive shaft installed. Not going to be doing the upgraded ones right now. I'm going to have to ask how those go in or figure it out. Not going to do it because I've got races tomorrow, so I just need to finish at this point. So that's my end game right now, is getting this done. So this will go in here. All right, just thread this in. That was easy. That was way better than the last one. All right, so we got one in. Looking good. I got to do the upper. Having these wheels around here helps. Set stuff down. Where'd I put the upper? The front's going to be the exact same process, guys, so we'll not record that. I'm going to start in the back here. That looks way better, though. It's going to look way better. It's worth the effort. All right, guys, while I'm wrapping it up, put the udder butter away. And gonna have to clean all this up probably tomorrow because I'm just trying to get ready for racing at this point, and it's quite messy. There's things I still want to figure out how they go on, like these drive shafts probably should have fit in easier than they did, and maybe they're different size actually, now that I think about it. Front and rear, I don't know. No, they look to be the same size, so I'll have to figure out why these didn't fit in, and maybe they go, maybe this side goes into the axle. Again, I don't know. I went back to stock, easy enough for now. So here are the 4 link You can see the metal looks really good in there. I've got the aluminum straight axle adapters here that are Chaos on both sides, and then I also have extensions off of those to lengthen this out a little bit more. What else did we do? I did go ahead and put on the Chaos servo horn, the aluminum servo horn in there, and I did swap out the servo to an Eco Power WP110T, which still, I'll show you, I wanted it to recenter or self-center, and it's not doing it, so we'll see here. Left, let go, doesn't go all the way back to center. Right, let go, definitely doesn't go back to center. So there's center, left, and it's just not even fighting it. Like when I'm under power, it turns a whole lot more than when I'm not. But even off power here, in the air, it doesn't center. So that's centered right there. So something in the system is binding and causing issues. So you have to pretty much steer at all times with it. I would like to figure out what I can do to solve that. What is binding here, and maybe I just need to lube it up a little bit. You can see this is even, everything's just flexing so much. I think that's the problem. So it'd be really good to find a way to put the servo up here or up here with a longer rod to it and just pushing the wheels and not going through this whole contraption, which is probably possible. We could make something that would fit here, or just move the servo forward here and get a longer type of extension to it. I don't know. We'd have to figure out what that looked like, but I think it would definitely improve this. There are 2 screw holes here, so there might even be a way to put a mount that would sit here, 3D print, to get a servo up on the axle. We'll get it buttoned back up, unplug all this, because it's literally after 1 a.m. and I need to get this ready for racing tomorrow morning. So it looks good, at least. That's a start. It's definitely, that's a good upgrade. We'll work on putting the heavy duty diff set up in the front, as well as the hard anodized aluminum diff case here up front. I have another set of these coming in case I want to swap out the locked diff in the rear. If I don't, then I might put it in one of my other trucks, so we'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions, please do put them in the comments down below. And you can see I'm still running mine, stock controller and everything. But I do like this truck, and I just love the way it handles, other than the steering thing. But that's the only thing that I'm not loving. I don't hate it, but I wish that it would self-center a little better than it does. And again, underpowered helps a little bit, but there's still a lot of slop there that I would like to find a way to maybe minimize if possible. So, all right, guys, have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.